Chapter 3: Crowdsourcing Tips and Best Practices. Chapter 3: Objective: The most common mistakes businesses make when they first start. Crowdsourcing isn't always easy and doesn't always go as planned. Here are some common mistakes that businesses often face when crowdsourcing. Here are the 5 mistakes to avoid that we will discuss in this chapter. Poor communication, choosing the right solution, legal issues, too much complexity, confidentiality. Poor communication. Communication is essential for effective crowdsourcing. When drafting your crowdsourcing details, you need to effectively convey the problem you are trying to solve or the end result that you're looking for. If this isn't communicated effectively, you'll get ideas or content that you can't use. Some people will naturally misunderstand or send you poor content, but make sure your communications are as clear as possible and that you understand the problem and end result well yourself. Choosing the right solution. Ideas aren't necessarily solutions. You may be inundated with good ideas that don't solve the problem. Going through all the content you've gathered and looking for the best solution is arduous and time-consuming. Make sure that you keep in mind the solution you're looking for as you go through it. Put simply, don't get lost in the information. Keep your goal in mind as you sift. Legal issues. Various legal issues can arise when you do a crowdsourcing campaign. If your crowd is creating content, you may have questions over who retains intellectual property rights. There are also cases where you could potentially be infringing on someone else's intellectual property rights as well. Get your legal team to make sure everything is okay and state clearly any legal issues when you set up your project, for example, who owns the final content. Too much complexity. Once you figure out what needs to be done to achieve the desired result, the task you ask your participants to do might be too complicated. In this case, the task should be simplified, or you should crowdsource just one part of the task. Ensure the task is easy, instructions are clear, and the platform you provide for your participants is easy to use. Avoid anything where they have to log in or register to participate if possible. Confidentiality. When you put your problem to the crowd, you must reveal certain aspects of your business. However, you don't want to reveal too much and potentially expose information to the public or your competitors. Err on the side of caution and always be prepared for the worst. This is an extreme measure, but it will ensure that you don't compromise your confidentiality any more than necessary. Remember that even a non-disclosure agreement may not be enough to keep you totally safe. We share this information so you can be aware of the mights and ifs, not to use them as an excuse not to try but to plan with these things in mind. Also, almost anything you do in business comes with a level of risk, high, medium, or low, and somewhere in between. As a business owner, it's your job to be aware of it, avoid it when necessary, and embrace it if it puts you further along your path of goal achievement. Action steps. Review the mistakes to avoid from the chapter. Note which mistakes could be potential problems for your crowdsourcing campaigns. How can you prevent those mistakes? In the next chapter, crowdsourcing content creation.